You've spoken, and I've duly responded. It seems that seeing anime characters flex their superiority and just stomping over hapless opponents is your thing, so I've come with a second volume of such list. Now, prepare to be amazed and dazzled by 10 more showings of power from some of the most popular anime characters off the top of my head. Remember, it's these moments that oftentimes just establish and make characters, and in my opinion, they did a damn good job in doing so. A lot of these characters became much more memorable through these segments, and thanks to the same moments, we also got some really interesting power level debates. Before we get going, I've noticed that a sizable part of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so with that, I'd like to encourage you to hit that subscribe button if you're a regular watcher of my videos. That way, you can be notified the next time I post something. Without further ado, let's get going to the list. Ironically, our list begins with a battle at the beginning. In this case, it's Afro Samurai skirmish against bandits. There are only so few things that you can say about a massacre of that scale happening right in front of your eyes. Gotta give props to the production team for this one, but if we're looking at it as just a fight, the bandits are no more than a minor speed bump for Afro Samurai's quest. A big show of power at that. I like the positioning of this battle because it quickly establishes Afro Samurai as one badass who's super powerful. It also gives the viewers an introduction to the artistic style of Afro Samurai and easily sets the tone of what to expect moving forward. Before we continue with your favorite showcases of power moments in anime, how about finding a way to do so in the virtual world? With Arkasaur Games, Epic RPG, and the sponsors of this video, Dragon Raja. Dragon Raja takes you into a lush and vivid world where you get to start your adventure as one of the many classes available. The newest one, the Phantom Sound, really catches my attention. I've been a fan of the Bard classes in video games, and being able to play as a unique take on that is really a dream come true. However, fighting is not all in this game. A strength of an online game is in how much it can immerse you into it and make itself an extension of your life with its features and customization. This game does that well with so many exploration and bonus activities. Anything's possible, and you can even access the game's air system and make your own house. Life with a soulmate has never been this awesome in video games. Immerse yourself in the incredible world of Dragon Raja and join the fun right now. Download links are available on the video description, and feel free to hop into the game's many social media accounts for some amazing rewards. We'll be featuring one of the newest shows out there now, Noblesse. If you remember, I listed Rai as one of the most overpowered characters last year. You can go to the wiki to check out what he's capable of with his list of abilities, but if you want something more visual, look no further than the final of Noblesse's anime adaptation where he takes on clan leaders. It's Rai versus 3 powerful opponents, and he still makes it look so easy. It never felt as if Rai was in any position to lose. Tanking attacks here and there and just stopping them with his open palm gave me some Mahoka flashbacks. Even together, all 3 of them are no match for Rai, leading Raskiera to finally step in, who finally gets a hit in on Rai. Such is the power of the Noblesse, the strongest among the nobles. One of the hallmark moments in Mob Psycho comes in the form of Mob finally going beyond his limits. We've known Mob to be capable of releasing his psychic powers in many forms, but what if all the limiters go down? Under extreme duress, Mob's able to enter arguably his strongest form, the question mark percentage mode. It's at this point where he loses consciousness and just lets his powers run wild, and it's not pretty, especially if you're Hanazawa, who learns his lesson the hard way. Just looking at the sheer destruction Mob is capable of without as much as moving a finger is a sight to behold. Imagine what he can do when he somehow harnesses this form while conscious. If you were to ask me who my favourite among the homunculus is, I'd say King Bradley in a heartbeat. Given the company he's with and the feats that the other homunculi have to their name, that's no easy feat. But let's just say that this battle impressed me so much. Granted, I never thought that anyone here would have posed a threat to Bradley, even the named characters. Still, it doesn't make this one-man army any less awesome. Take note that Bradley at this time is not even in his prime. Imagine if he's younger at this time. Precognition is probably one of the most broken abilities in anime, and giving it to someone like Bradley just feels over the top, don't you think? When I think about his eventual defeat, I still can't help but think he only lost because the plot dictates that he had to. Not to take anything away from Scar, but that's just how high Bradley's stock had become when he eventually had to bite the dust. Parasite is one of my perennial favorites, and besides the themes, I particularly like how creative the fight scenes are. Look, when you've got a protagonist with a transforming sentient hand, you have free reign to do lots of things. Not in this one fight though. This is just a simple showcase of sheer power, courtesy of the series' last boss, Goto. People have commented on this scene and compared it to a guy going back to a starting area after reaching his level cap, and I would agree with that. The way he just walks up to the Yakuza and slaughters them like it was nothing. He dodges everything perfectly and just creates a sight for sadistic killers to behold, all for the sake of limit testing. Man, the Yakuza really can't get a break, can they? Name recognition and reputation just make them perfect jobbers for anime characters trying to make a point. Even later on in the series, against a world that's increasingly adjusted to fighting parasites, Goto doesn't let up. I'm legitimately sure that without our dynamic duo to stop him, the world is doomed at the hands of this supervillain.
たまにいるんだよね。暴対法ができてからヤクザは一般市民には手出しできねえって勘違いしてるやつよ。
The poor Yakuza get destroyed once again in this next entry, this time courtesy of Goemon. You never had an idea that the Lupin series can be so violent, Well, this movie's not exactly representative of the series as a whole, but it does have some moments that showcase the grittier sides of the gang that you'd probably know more from their comedic hijinks. Here you have Goemon just showing those Yakuza punks that they've messed up big time. They've come to pick a fight with the wrong guy. They would quickly pay the price with their limbs. It doesn't matter that Goemon's not in his best state or that he's outnumbered. Numbers are nothing but stats for someone of Goemon's skill level. Just watch in awe as he ran through the Yakuza like they were nothing. Here's to the most powerful of Lupin's gang by a long shot. It's really good that our protagonist got someone like Goemon watching his back, right? Goemon also has some really insane moments in the other parts of the Lupin series, so you might want to check that out in a previous video. Our next featured moment is in Inari Fura, a show that I'd like to call some twisted fusion between Shield Hero and Konosuba, only much edgier. So our protagonist is your typical wimpy boy who gets betrayed early on and falls to the symbolic depths of hell. Fighting his way out of it, he becomes a monster of a man, even more so than the petty demons that he gets tasked to face off in the show's run. An army of 60,000 monsters would send any village and kingdom shaking to the core, but for our protagonist, it's nothing short of easy. With his harem of various monster girls, Hajime easily wipes the floor with the entire army of hilarious CG, whatever you call those. If the subtitle "From Commonplace to the World's Strongest" hasn't been driven home yet, maybe this moment will change your mind. The reason this isn't much higher is because Hajime did it with his harem, whereas later we have a person dealing with a similarly large army in just one super attack.
相手が悪かったな。
Here's an interesting addition. Why, you ask? If you've noticed in this list, we generally have otherworldly powers on display. The characters featured so far generally have some superhuman magic or abilities that allow them to do the flexing, so to speak. But those things don't come into play in Sword of the Stranger. It makes it more awesome to see Luo Lang just dispose of the entire team without breaking a sweat. No precognition, no super evil form, no alien abilities, just pure swordsmanship and peak human performance. Luo Lang is a monster beyond comprehension, and his introduction does a masterful job at driving that point home. Way to build up the final antagonist for our hero to face in the climax. Such an amazing build, but the actual fight is even better. You can check it out on my recent top sword fights list, which I'll be linking now. Coming in second place, we have one of the most overpowered anime protagonists in Ainz. Ainz has a lot of claims to fame. You don't get a horde of loyal followers from the netherworld out of nowhere. It's not every day that you can command the respect of the denizens of Nazarick. You have to be an amazingly powerful individual capable of just showcasing your power and dominance in every corner. Thankfully, Ainz has those qualities in spades. Don't believe it? Well, you can go and check out the entire Overlord series to just see how powerful of a force Ainz is. If you want me to pick one specific moment though, maybe this one will convince you. Which anime character do you think can kill 70,000 people in one fell swoop? In one super tier magic? Only Ainz. There are characters who've done this same one-man army on that scale. Heck, we've had one on this list. But to do it in one fell swoop, with one super spell, Sasuga Ainz-sama indeed. Who deserves the top spot besides the king of heroes, Gilgamesh? Gilgamesh being on this list is a no-brainer. He just oozes swagger and the tendency to just flex his dominance over others. Among anime characters, I just think that Gilgamesh, especially his Archer variant in the mainline Fate series, is a top contender for the title of the most haughty and arrogant character out there. Few characters can compare to him or even come close. The truth is, his arrogance is warranted. That's largely thanks to Enuma Elish. Possibly the most powerful attack in that line of Fate, he deploys it against Ryder's own Noble Phantasm. Some episodes back, we already saw how powerful Ryder's Noble Phantasm was. How about Gilgamesh pulling off an even bigger flex by swinging his sword once and shattering the entire field, destroying Ryder's entire army? Simply astounding. For those who can't get enough of Enuma Elish in Fate Zero, the much nicer caster Gilgamesh also whips the bad boy out in Fate Grand Order's Babylonian adaptation, so you can look forward to that. But this moment from Fate Zero is easily one of my favorite moments from the entire Fate franchise. So what do you think of this list? Do you think that Gilgamesh deserves the top spot on this one? If not, who do you think should have been there instead? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section for more discussion. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button up there for more ViniiTube goodness coming right up. And you don't want to miss any of them, trust me. Don't forget to check out the sponsors of this video, Dragon Raja. The link's in the description. With that, I bid you farewell for now. Stay strong, stay cool, and stay awesome.